This course is produced by the Northern Hardwoods Research Institute. Welcome to the NHRI Core Series course, Growing More and Better Hardwoods, covering the key concepts for the silviculture of hardwood and mixed wood stands in New Brunswick. This course is structured around 5 distinct modules, each addressing a key strategic priority. Collectively, these priorities articulate a clear and comprehensive proposal approach designed to transform current forest management practices in New Brunswick, with the explicit goal of significantly increasing the quantity and enhancing the quality of hardwood resources on Crown lands. In this module, we'll explore the key priority, back to silviculture basics. We will now proceed with the lecture on implementing regime-based silviculture.
Paradigm shift, from treatments to regimes. It is essential that we cease discussing isolated silvicultural treatments and begin strategizing in terms of cohesive regimes, a predetermined sequence of interventions executed along a specified timeline. The example on the screen illustrates a uniform shelterwood regime with a commercial thinning scheduled at age 60, followed by subsequent entries. We must analyze the impact of moving away from uniform spacing on the cost-effectiveness of the first commercial thinning entry. We anticipate that the overall long-term benefits of this systemic approach will significantly outweigh the initial costs associated with moving away from simpler spacing methods, which often yield lower quality timber and compromise species composition. This requires a comprehensive approach. As we are currently discussing the need to experiment with PCT reforms, these treatments must be integrated into the regime mix. A foundational concept to remember is that individual treatments are merely actions that form part of a larger regime at a specific point in time. The sooner this comprehensive perspective is adopted, the faster we can align our operational and tactical efforts with the strategic big-picture objectives. Currently, this holistic view is lacking at the operational and tactical scales. The shelterwood example. The term shelterwood is frequently discussed, often incorrectly treated as a single, one-time intervention. A shelterwood, in fact, represents a complete silvicultural regime. The sequence begins with a seeding establishment cut, which is followed by the overstory removal. As the stand develops, the regime incorporates further planned steps, such as conducting the recommended PCT and crop tree release variants, and then scheduling subsequent commercial thinnings along the management timeline. This transition from viewing treatments as singular events to implementing them as components of a comprehensive regime is a critical paradigm shift, required not only at the planning level, but also at the technical and implementation levels of this strategy. Our vision is that when treatment 1 is conducted as the initial action within a specific regime, it must be geo-referenced and tagged within the geographic information system. Crucially, this initial action must be accompanied by a formulated management hypothesis. For example, Regime 1B. This designation necessitates a defined monitoring protocol and scheduled re-entry points for evaluation and readjustment. If the outcomes meet the established success criteria, Treatment 2 can then be executed. This change from fixed actions to a testable, adaptive management philosophy is one we must urgently integrate into our practice. In summary, the silvicultural concepts discussed in this module share one overarching objective: the restoration of compromised hardwood stands. Facing the reality of stand condition. While we recognize the political necessity of avoiding terminology such as degraded forests, we must objectively address the reality of the resource base. Our analysis indicates that the current state of our hardwood forests is significantly below optimal ecological and economic potential. The strategic aim of this entire series is to acknowledge this suboptimal condition and implement the strategies required to restore these stands to a state of sustained health and productivity. The central mission is to shift management onto a trajectory of sustained growth and quality improvement. The underlying philosophy guiding this restoration effort is fundamentally straightforward. This management philosophy echoes the foundational message delivered by Dr. Ralph Nyland over 2 decades ago during his visits to New Brunswick. The directive for managing these suboptimal stands remains clear. Depending on specific stand characteristics, initial canopy removal must be greater than conventional practice, while rigorously respecting the minimum residual basal area threshold. The primary candidates for removal are those trees that currently possess quality merchantable products, but are simultaneously at risk of losing economic value due to health decline. This operational priority underscores the advantage of thinking in terms of regimes. A management regime requires the operator to ask a critical question. If the next entry is 30 years away, will the sawlog in this currently healthy tree still retain its value, or will it be compromised? If the answer indicates a high risk of decline, that tree becomes a top priority for immediate removal. Conversely, the healthy, high-quality smaller trees, as we have illustrated earlier, demonstrate the highest growth potential. Maximizing wood production is only achievable by actively releasing these vigorous, quality small trees. This practice simultaneously serves 2 vital functions. It creates the necessary germination beds, or, where advanced regeneration exists, mandates its protection through seasonal planning. This sets the stage for immediate, intermediate treatments, such as a targeted spacing intervention, to effectively release the new cohort. The simplicity of this integrated approach is its strength. By implementing these steps, management can begin the essential transition from an even-aged structure toward a desired multi-aged regime within just a few decades. Data validation and conclusion. Our extensive field analysis validates this strategic approach. We have conducted surveys across tens of thousands of hectares of operational blocks, and the results are conclusive. 6 out of 10 times, the recommended regime is an irregular silviculture system, specifically our 2-aged extensive system. Furthermore, depending on the specific stand type, structure, and composition, managers can effectively utilize a continuous cover, 2-aged extensive variant, which is designed to maintain canopy continuity earlier in the regime timeline. If the stand condition is deemed significantly suboptimal, the recommended prescription is a uniform 2-aged extensive system. In such situations, the initial harvest should involve a greater degree of canopy opening to actively maximize the size of the newly recruited cohort. We advise caution because this regime may be highly susceptible to human factors working against the silvicultural objective. This concern directly relates to the concept previously illustrated. Leaving thickets, or non-uniformly spaced trees, consistently results in a growth response that is significantly lower than that achieved through even, uniform release. While this regime presents potential difficulties in successful implementation, particularly given the demonstrated decline in growth response from uneven release, its use in certain localized contexts may prove to be inevitable.
Continue your professional development by exploring other lectures within this module, covering the key priority, back to silviculture basics. We also recommend reviewing the foundational material available on the platform related to this course, as these concepts are essential for a comprehensive understanding. For further resources, please visit our website to learn more about the Institute's research, products, and professional services.